What up, Gotham Guardians and Arkham Adversaries? It's your boy Trey of the Bat Channel. We got some quick DC film updates regarding the Batgirl casting rumors and Injustice, the animated film. Now, for Injustice, man, that is just such a cool game, and the comic series was phenomenal. I think the first game came out in like 2013, and I think the comics also like came out like shortly after that. And I haven't read all the comics. I know they have like quite a few, I think quite a few years on them, but with Injustice 2, when that came out in 2016, just one of my favorite like games. I think it was made by NetherRealms, who did Mortal Kombat. Just phenomenal games, right? And the story is super cool. You know, Superman turning evil after Joker tricks him into killing, Lois and his unborn child. And it just puts, obviously, the most like powerful being in the DC world, and you got Batman going up against him. Just like one of the best, video games storylines in the DC world. But apparently, for the Injustice animated film that's being done by Warner Brothers Animation, they have announced their cast, and it's. I also heard something that they said it was supposed to come out this fall. Which, wow, they're moving really quick. I haven't seen the Long Halloween yet, part one, and I know part two is supposed to come out the fall as well. So, man, Warner Brother Animation is quite busy, but man, they had a pretty cool cast. They have from This Is Us, Justin Hartley voicing Superman, and from Star Trek Discovery, Anson Mount voicing Batman. And it will also have veteran voice actress and Critical Role star Laura Bailey in the dual role of Lois Lane and Rama Kushna. It's a pretty big cast too, but this is fantastic. So you had Justin Hartley as Superman, Anson Mount as Batman, Laura Bailey as Lois Lane, and Rama Kushna, Zach Callison as Damian Wayne, and Jimmy Olsen, Brian T. Delaney as Green Lantern, Brendan Michael Hall as Cyborg, Edwin Hodge as Mr. Terrific and Killer Croc, Oliver Hudson as Plastic Man, Gillian Jacobs as Harley Quinn, Yuri Lowenthal as Mirror Master, Flash, and Shazam, Derek Phillips as Nightwing and Aquaman, Kevin Pollak as Joker, and Jonathan Kent. Kind of an interesting dynamic there. Anika Noni Rose as Catwoman, Reed Scott as Green Arrow and Victor Zsasz, Farron Tier as Ra's al Ghul, and Fred Tatasciore as Captain Atom, Janet Varney as Wonder Woman, and Andrew Margado as Mirror Master Soldier. So big cast. I'm excited for that movie. I mean, like I said, it's Injustice.
Injustice. The tools of cowards and criminals.
Are you serious right now? Because I've got about 10 more of these riddles that are way harder than this one. This is like just to introduce the concept of me riddling you.
One of my favorite. I know Zack Snyder was kind of going to get into that world with the Nightmare world in like Zack Snyder's Justice League Part 2. So that would have been cool to see in live action. But an animated movie will do just as good. But still, hashtag restore the Snyderverse. I still want to see Zack continue on with his Justice League, because Zack Snyder's Justice League was fantastic.
He ain't lying.
But let's go ahead and get on to the big news. This is funny about the Batgirl casting, because we had literally just talked about the rumors of the kind of their closing list of people who Warner Brothers wanted for this HBO Max. I think technically it's a movie, HBO Max movie of Batgirl. But they had shortened their list down to like Haley Lu Richardson, Leslie Grace. There was a few other actresses that were a part of that, but we were literally just talking about this on our live stream. And then the very next day, they had casted Leslie Grace from In the Heights as Barbara Gordon Batgirl.
If you have a specific question, hold it in your mind.
Holding.
Let me know when you're ready.
This is interesting. I mean, I won't lie to you guys, because she wasn't my first choice, my second choice, my third choice, or my fourth or fifth. In fact, all the other girls they had picked, or at least said was on their short list for auditions, she was the last place one for me. And I saw In the Heights, and it was a good musical. I mean, It wasn't bad. I mean, to me, I was looking at more of a classic comic book accurate Barbara Gordon, but it's Leslie Grace. So I don't know enough about her career to really make a decision on her. As I always said with Ben Affleck, I was really against that casting when I first heard about it, and he proved me wrong. He's like my favorite Batman, live action Batman ever in history, and I think it's gonna be really tough for Robert Pattinson to beat it for me. But so I'm gonna give Leslie Grace a chance. It is, I won't lie when I say, damn it, like I'm curious to see if they give her the red hair, if it's still the purple suit. But hey, I mean, finally seeing a solo Batgirl thing, which I've heard a lot of rumors to this in terms of one, it's going to be its own thing, meaning it's not going to connect to Matt Reeves, the Batman. It's not even going to be connected to the Snyderverse, or I guess you could say the general DCEU. So that's kind of interesting that they're even going to be casting an entirely different James Gordon. It's not going to be Jeffrey Wright. I don't know. But it is being done by the Bad Boys for Life filmmakers, Adil El Arbi and Bilal Fallah, as directing Batgirl from a script by Christina Hodson, who was the one who also did Birds of Prey and the upcoming Flash. So, I didn't like Birds of Prey personally, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm curious to see. She's a Latina actress, and she has received 3 Latin Grammy Award nominations. So, I mean, she's clearly vocally talented. I'm just curious to see how she does as Barbara Gordon. Because, I think Batgirl first originated in like 1961, but it wasn't Barbara Gordon at that time. It was like Betty Kane, I think. And they, eventually brought her back in the later 60s with the Adam West TV series. I think it was like 3rd or 4th season when they had her on. And I think it was like Yvonne Craig.
What in the world is this? Revolving walls? Hidden rooms? Disguises? What is Barbara Gordon's secret?
Who played her? Man, my dad would know this. He was, obviously he would know. But then, of course, maybe it might have been like 30 years later with the movie I grew up on with Batman and Robin.
And you are?
Batgirl.
That's not awfully PC. What about Bat Person or Bat Woman?
Bruce, it's me, Barbara. I found the Batcave.
We gotta get those locks changed.
She knows who we are.
Guess we'll just have to kill her.
Yep, we'll kill her later. We have work to do.
With Alicia Silverstone, which to me, that was like the weirdest thing in the world, to make her like the niece of, or cousin, I can't even recall, of Alfred. So technically she wasn't even Barbara Gordon in that, now thinking about it. So we've never had basically an on-screen movie Barbara Gordon ever. So this will be the first. Yeah, well, that's that's kind of crazy to think about. But obviously this film has been in development for quite a few years. Originally, Josh Whedon was supposed to head up this film shortly after the Justice League film. But then obviously he dropped out, partly because Justice League failed miserably and he did terrible with that. And obviously we know the whole story of that. We eventually got Zack Snyder's Justice League. But in Ben Affleck's The Batman, there was also supposed to be Batgirl showing up to help him fight against Deathstroke at some point. So that's kind of interesting. I don't know. We'll see. Like I said, I may hold my reservations for this Batgirl movie on HBO Max. I just feel like I'm always pleasantly surprised, usually, with some of these castings. Because like I said, I wasn't on board with the Ben Affleck casting, and I was hugely wrong on that. But it doesn't officially have a release date yet, but Warner Brothers says they're hoping to get it out on HBO Max, I think in 2023. So it's gonna be a few years before we see this thing. But congratulations to Leslie Grace on her casting. I wish her the best. I hope she does well, and I'll just keep letting you guys know about it as we go on. We know that they're looking at doing possibly a Firefly villain for her series or movie, whatever it's going to be. But to me, it would be cool if they really got into, her, kind of the Killing Joke thing, where she kind of becomes Oracle after it, and going through that whole process of her character development. Hopefully it lasts long enough to do that. But yeah, this is supposed to be its own thing. I even heard someone say there's no Batman in this. Technically, like, Batman doesn't exist in this universe. I think
What did you say?
Mikey Sutton with Geekosity said that. So that would be interesting. I'm not sure how I feel about that, because clearly Batgirl, not that she needs Batman, but she needs Batman a part of her origin story, at least in my opinion. So we'll see how it goes. I'm curious, and we'll let you guys know more about it. Just FYI, this Friday, tomorrow, we will be having our 1-year celebration of our channel, of the Bat Channel. We hope you guys can join us for the live stream. Hoping to get a few people on to hang out with us. And I think we're gonna do the super chats as a fundraiser for like the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, like we did with Feeding America for the Make the Batfleck movie event that we did the live stream back in June 21st, I want to say, and we raised like over $100 for Feeding America. So that was completely awesome, and can't believe it's been 1 year. So Friday, tomorrow, we think we're going to do 9 p.m. Eastern. So make sure you guys join us for that, but make sure you guys hit that like, share, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode. I'm your host, Trey, and don't forget to tune in weekly. Same bat time, same bat channel.